Today we are interviewing Muriel Kramer, who is running for the Governor's Council for the 2nd District. There are 8 districts covering the state of Massachusetts. 4 Democrats are vying for this position. There'll be a primary on September 3rd to elect one of them to run against the Republican candidate on November 5th. The other 3 Democrats running in the primary are Tamisha Civil, David Lesovitz, and Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy couldn't make it today. He was feeling underneath the weather, so.
Oh, that's too bad.
Welcome, Muriel.
Thank you.
What does the Governor's Council do?
So the Governor's Council has a really important job, actually. It appoints judges, clerk magistrates, parole board appointees, also the Industrial Accident Review Board. Makes other decisions, like decisions on pardons and commutations that the governor recommends, and a host of other things. There's a little bit of I like to say, a laundry list of things that the Governor's Council does. And the reason it matters is because all of these people who get appointed to these positions have positions of really great power over a lot of people who interact with the legal system.
What are your qualifications for the Governor's Council?
So my qualifications include the fact that I have executive level leadership abilities that I learned first in the United States military when I served in the Air Force, and also in my professional work, but also in my work in 20 years of elected or appointed service in the town of Hopkinton. So I have been an elected or appointed official for 20 years. I've served 2 terms on the select board, and 3 of those terms I have been the chair during some really important times. So that's part of what prepares me for this job.
Why are you running for the Governor's Council?
Yeah, I'm really running because, so I represent a different voice on the Governor's Council. I'm a social worker by training, and I work with people who are very impacted by the legal system and interact with the legal system on the opposite side of the lawyers and the judges. And so I really want to run for the Governor's Council to first sort of represent that constituency in the conversations, to make sure that we're appointing judges and clerk magistrates that have compassion and are invested in equity and understand the impacts of their decisions in that way, and I know many of them do, but I really want to bring that forward. And then primarily, so many of the folks that we know that are in the legal system, either incarcerated or maybe being incarcerated, suffer from substance use disorder or mental illness. And that's really where my professional work is in creating systems and helping connect all the players in the big system to treatment opportunities and pathways.
What is the #1 skill or experience you would bring to the Governor's Council?
Well, I hope that it's my ability to inspire and inspire change. So when I talk about substance use disorder as a professional, I know that it's treatable, I know that it's a chronic disease, and I know that it reoccurs. And I want to help people understand that we can connect people to treatment rather than just punishment or incarceration, or we can treat people if they have to be incarcerated, and we can support people better as they leave a period of incarceration to return to the community so that they stay healthier and can have healthier futures.
Do you know the current members of the Governor's Council? Have you worked with any of them previously?
So I have never worked with any of the Governor's Council members. I have met Several of them, I've talked to Governor's Counsel Paul DiPaolo a couple of times, and I've seen him in action. I've met Tara Jacobs and Eileen Duff and Marilyn Devaney because I've attended several of the meetings and I've introduced myself, and so we've met. And I've seen the others, Joseph Ferreira and Christopher Ianella, in action. But I've never worked with them, and I don't know them personally.
How would you like to influence or change the Governor's Council?
So I think about this a lot. I hope that my presence is not disruptive, but it does sort of compel some change. I know the last time I went to the Governor's Council meeting, not last week, but the week before, a lot of the conversation, a lot of the questions they asked in the hearing were about racism and were about substance use disorder. And I would like to help bring a little bit of professional education into that and help people connect to future possibilities. I think people get overwhelmed when they don't understand how they can make a difference, and I'd like to start that conversation about how together we can make a difference for people.
Do you have any endorsements?
I have a lot of endorsements, which I'm really grateful for. Massachusetts Senate President Karen Spilka has endorsed me. U.S. Congressman Jim McGovern has endorsed me. State Senator Jamie Eldridge, State Rep James Arena DeRosa have endorsed me. I've also gotten the endorsement of the Massachusetts State Chapter of the National Association for Social Workers, and many more. So I'm really pleased and appreciative of the endorsements I have gotten.
What are your favorite activities outside of work?
My favorite activities outside of work, if I have a lot of quiet time, which I don't always, I like to read and I like to do cross stitch. My favorite activities of all times are anything that I do with my 4 beautiful grandchildren. And then something that a lot of people don't know about me that I really love to do and give away the fruits of my efforts. I make my own soap. So I love doing that.
Me and my dad have grandchildren. My 2 wonderful nieces, Tenley, who's 1.
Oh.
Tenley, she's 3. And my niece, Kendall, she's 1.
Oh, so much fun.
And my niece, Tenley, calls me Uncle Pete.
Uncle Pete, how nice. 2 of my granddaughters are 1 and 3. I know just how much fun they are. Yeah. They're so lucky to have you.
Can you summarize why you should be elected to the Governor's Council?
Yeah, so I really appreciate this question. So my husband and I have been in Hopkinton for over 30 years, and we've raised 6 kids. And when my youngest were in high school, I went back to school to get a social work degree because I really wanted a degree in social justice. And the bottom line is I really have a lot of confidence. I'm inspired by the power and purpose of our country and our system and the ways that we can work to do better work together. So that's really why I want to be on the Governor's Council. I hope while I'm there, I serve to help people.
We wish to thank Muriel for appearing on this episode of Special Times and congratulate her for seeking to serve on the Governor's Council. We wish her the best of luck in her campaign. Remember to vote in the primary on September 3rd. Stay tuned for future episodes of Special Times where we'll interview all of the candidates for District 2 Governor's Council. Goodbye.
Peter, thank you very much.